In the year 2308, after the Freestar Collective broke the terms of the Treaty of Niira, at least according to the United Colonies, by settling on Vesta in the Niira system, tensions rose, eventually erupting into a full-fledged war that would come to be known as the Colony War. One of the United Colonies' first initiatives of the conflict was to invade and set up a forward operating base on the planet of Niira in the Niira system for strikes against Freestar space. The Freestar Collective, for its part, recognized the strategic significance of such a move and initiated a counterstrike using the Freestar Collective's elite 1st Cavalry Unit. From there, the conflict on Niira would continue to escalate, eventually culminating in the deployment of the United Colonies Xeno Warfare Division in conjunction with the elite Martian Marines known as the Red Devils, bringing the battle to a new stage of bloody stalemate, with the battle continuing to rage until the armistice officially terminated the conflict in 2311. Unofficially, however, neither the Freestar commander nor the United Colonies commander on Niira was able to comply with this ceasefire, as both believed their nation was on the verge of victory and had already paid too steep a price to walk away from. Eventually, though, the battle would come to a close when the Freestar militia forcefully detained the remaining elements of the 1st Cavalry, and Niira was officially returned to Freestar control. The 3 long years of conflict, however, rendered the once lush planet unsuitable for human habitation, resulting in its near total abandonment, with the last vestiges of humanity on the planet taking the form of salvage operations that are slowly scrapping the ghosts of war that remain like vultures. In the year 2330, 19 years following the cessation of hostilities, only a single battlefield remains near the site of one-of-a-kind salvage. By taking a 360-degree look at this battle line, we can gain insight into the realities of this battlefield and of planetary combat as a whole. The presence of one-of-a-kind salvage strongly suggests that this defensive line was occupied by the forces of the Freestar Collective, as the one in one-of-a-kind is the 1st Cavalry Unit marking, and in my opinion, it's quite unlikely that a company would have come in and chosen that iconography considering the disgrace the 1st Cavalry suffered following the cessation of hostilities, if it wasn't already pre-existing on the building. This points to the facility originally serving the cavalry during the war, and then being co-opted into the salvaging operation following the war's conclusion. Additionally, the units currently found at the salvage yard indicate that the cavalry had both MS and Titan mechs at their disposal. The MS units, or mobile suits, are lightly armed and armored mechs featuring articulated hands. These units are highly maneuverable with boost packs and are well suited to anti-infantry operations with their highly versatile shoulder-mounted cannons, scouting operations due to their mobility, in addition to support operations, thanks to the utility provided by their hands and opposable thumbs. In contrast, the Titan units are heavily armored and heavily armed, featuring cannons for hands and shoulder-mounted missile launchers, or in some cases forgoing arms entirely, in order to equip a truly massive variety of shoulder-mounted weapons, such as 3 missile batteries and 1 extremely large-barreled turret. The Titan flavor of mech is ideal for anti-armor operations, artillery support, and for hardpoint elimination. These men and units would man the trench lines and fortifications, protecting the facility. It is my opinion that these trench lines would have been radial in nature, forming a perimeter around the strategic facility, versus the other option where you just have massive trench lines spanning across the planet. I just don't see why or how those would be manned. So radial it is. Now, interspersed at regular intervals along the trench lines would be massive, heavily reinforced double-barreled artillery bunkers, as can be seen evidenced by the 2 units we see on the remaining Niira battlefield. These immense emplacements appear to be energy-based in nature due to the presence of what appears to be an array of 4 large solar panels perched upon its crown. These weapons are likely capable of taking out heavily armored targets at extreme ranges, and being energy-based in nature would be highly effective against shields. The trench lines would be additionally reinforced by adding supersized Czech hedgehogs, an anti-tank barrier that was used in World War II, to impede enemy cavalry units, as we can similarly see them in the remains of the Battle on Niira. Finally, although there is no evidence to support this claim that I'm about to make, I just think it stands to reason that there would have been a substantial minefield at the farthest reaches of the perimeter as well, creating a veritable killing field of sorts. The United Colonies forces, on the other hand, would have been in the unenviable position of attempting to break through these lines. At the United Colonies' disposal would have been rather similar units to that of the Freestar Collective, being Marines and the MS variant of the mech. This is evidenced by the presence of several such units being destroyed while facing in the direction of the repair base, an unlikely orientation for a defending unit to be eliminated at. However, unlike the Freestar Collective, the UC forces featured xeno-weapons deployed by the elite Martian Red Devil forces. The deployed xeno-weapon was that of the Siren. The Siren is a heavily armored quadruped predator that has been known to rip through man and mech alike, at least allegedly. These hardy creatures have been known to soak up bullets like Bethesda soaks up prophets from Skyrim, and are a force to be reckoned with. That being the case, however, it is still possible for a man with a gun to prevail in a one-on-one fight with these beasts. So the efficacy of such a force against mechs is still a matter for scholarly debate. Additionally, although there is no evidence to support that the Freestar Collective did not have gunship support, there is evidence to support that the UC most certainly did, in the downed gunship found in the middle of the battlefield, clearly vectoring towards the central facility. Now, with this information in hand, I would like to create a battle simulation for you fine folks. Is this how the battle actually took place? Probably not, but here's how I see it. First, the UC sends a strike force of gunships forward to eliminate the long-range artillery weapons along the selected area of the lines for the infantry assault. Then, the Sirens are sent forward in a wave of flesh to eliminate the danger posed by the probable minefield that is surrounding the trench line. Next, the cavalry units are sent in to rapidly punch a hole through the first layer of defense and drive a wedge between the defenders and either side of the trench. Finally, all remaining forces would be committed to drive the wedge deeper towards the central facility, with the overall goal of seizing and eliminating the central command that would have been stationed there, and the destruction or seizing of the material required to keep the Freestar cavalry, i.e. the mechs, running, in an attempt to cripple the Freestar's ability to conduct combat operations in the sector. Unfortunately for the UC, however, the wedge was blunted and then halted just as it reached the perimeter of the Freestar facility, forcing the remaining men and materiel to retreat. The Sirens, however, could not be recalled and remained picking off Freestar defenders slowly but surely in the dead of night. What do you think? Fun? I certainly hope you think it was fun. Did I hit the mark though? Or am I crazy? Let me know. But also stick around, because now I want to do a little bit of ranting and a raving about the whole concept of the Battle of Niira. First of all, why in the world, seriously, why in the world does the UC even need a forward operating base? I mean, each one of their ships is equipped with near instantaneous travel via grav drive space magic. So what strategic advantage exactly is there to be gained by occupying Niira? I mean, there isn't one, right? There just isn't. Then there's the whole concept of the Freestar Collective continually trying to reclaim it. How exactly are the Freestar units making it to the planet's surface? Did the UC Navy just land their troops and then bail out of there, leaving them completely unguarded? Or are we led to believe, like in the main mission, that one time where you stealthed your ship by turning off the weapons and the shields and going really slow, that's what the Freestar did? Just stealth mode into the planet's surface? That just seems highly unlikely. I would suspect that the Freestar would have had to have knocked the UC Navy out of position in order to land their troops. And by that point, the Freestar should win, because the UC Navy isn't getting any more support. Or are we also thinking that the Freestar Collective Navy just showed up there to the planet, dropped off their troops, and said, yeah, that's good. We don't need to blockade this thing. Let's get out of here. I know that my tactical logic comes mostly from playing Star Wars Empire at War, where you had to take over orbit before you could send your troops down to take the planet. But to me, that just seems like basic common sense. But again, what do I know? On a similar note, do hardened installations even make any sense? Like the artillery bunkers? Couldn't a UC Navy railgun blast that thing to pieces from space? Or any strategic position that isn't under a literal mountain of Earth? This whole space and land are two completely distinct universe thing is driving me nuts. Like, I get from a game design why they would do it this way, but from a lore design, it just doesn't work. Even if we remove space from the equation like Bethesda clearly did, the battlefield itself doesn't make a lick of sense. Exhibit A supersized Czech hedgehog? Really? Against mechs? That's just not how a hedgehog works. The tracks or wheels are supposed to get stuck, keywords there, tracks or wheels, when an armored vehicle attempts to traverse over them and it gets stuck in their chassis. A mech is just gonna step over or around it, or heck, just use its arms to move it out of the way. Even then though, they are sprinkled so sparingly around the battlefield that they have no utility in the slightest. There's not even a reason to step around them because there's like 10 of them. Also, why are there no casualties outside of the line itself? Like, all the mech fields are found in the region between the facility and the artillery emplacements. Are you really trying to tell me that the attacking forces suffered no casualties, zip, zero, nada, before reaching the defensive lines? Blasphemy, I tell you. Then there's this whole siren thing. As I alluded to earlier, I'm not much of a fan. It's incredibly hard for me to believe that a siren would be an effective tool against a mech. I mean, considering that you, as the player, can take these predators out using small arms fire, wouldn't a mech with its hand cannons or shoulder-mounted missile launchers make Swiss cheese of these things? To me, the only efficacy the sirens really have is that of bullet sponges wearing down the Freestar's munition supplies. Am I wrong here? I'd love to hear your theories. Finally, although I get this is just a game design thing, the fact that there's only one small section of the battlefield protecting arguably, well, nothing, is quite disappointing to me. When I found out that there was a map of the mech fields that I could buy that would then point me to key battle sites, I was stoked. I was ready to go all around the planet looking for these things. But then I quickly found out that all of these sites are just small areas within the singular battle site that we are given. It's a real shame. I would have loved to tour all the great battlefields of the conflict. Sadly, that is not to be. Apparently the scrappers were real efficient everywhere else on the planet, and only one-of-a-kind salvage is taking its sweet, sweet time. Alright y'all, that's the end of my rant, and that's it for me. If you made it to the end, thank you so much. It means the world to me and the algorithm. Spydingo, out.